Hey everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the most important lines from Ant-Man 1, the first movie. And there's actually two that I want to discuss. The first is a very obvious important line. It comes into question towards the end of the movie when Scott Lang, Ant-Man, is about to fight Darren Cross, the main villain, and Hank Pym says this. He says, "Second chances don't come around all that often. I suggest that you take a really close look at it. This is your chance to earn that look in your daughter's eyes, to become the hero that she already thinks you are." And the line is obviously significant for two main reasons. First, it encapsulates the movie's overarching themes of redemption and second chances. Don't forget, Ant-Man was a former criminal. He has all kinds of reasons that he needs to prove himself. This continues in Ant-Man 2 and in Civil War and Endgame. Ant-Man is kind of the underdog. He's always trying to redeem himself. So he has lots of opportunities to prove himself and to do the right thing. And this line from Hank drives home the importance of taking those chances seriously and making the most of them. The line also speaks to Scott's personal motivation. As a father, he's desperate to earn the respect and admiration of his young daughter, Cassie. In many ways, his decision to become Ant-Man, I think, is driven by this desire to be a hero in her eyes. And so this advice from Hank reminds Scott that this isn't just about a heist or stopping a bad guy. It's about living up to the expectations of the people that matter most to him, right, to earn that redemption. It's also a really powerful reminder of the importance of seizing opportunity and striving to be the best version of yourself, especially when others are counting on you. The other line that I wanted to think about in terms of the importance of Ant-Man also comes from Hank Pym, funny enough, and it's you never can trust a Stark. Right? And the reason, again, Hank Pym says something like, you never can trust a Stark. And I think this is really important in terms of the larger overall narrative for Ant-Man. And again, there's an element of distrust and father-son relationships between Hank and Scott. They have to earn each other's trust. And Hank himself, the original Ant-Man, is a very distrustful, cynical person. And here is a former criminal trying to earn that redemption. And yet, that cynicism does stay with Ant-Man, because you can remember in Civil War and throughout, right? I mean, again, even once there's Endgame and we're kind of all on the same team, Ant-Man is clearly on the Team Captain America over Team Stark. He tries to steal some Stark gear at one point. We see him fight Falcon in that really funny kind of after credit scene. And of course, in Civil War, he makes the big distraction. He becomes a giant and allows the movie to continue and Captain America to go on. And as a result, he's under house arrest again. That we see in, I believe that's at the start of Ant-Man 2. So you never can trust a Stark. While seemingly kind of a throwaway line or kind of a joke, I think sets a larger precedent for understanding both Hank Pym, but also Scott Lang and Scott Lang's relationship to the larger cinematic universe. He's going to be one of the most diehard, again, Captain America, Team Captain America people, which, again, in the larger scheme of things means, I don't want to say anti-government, but, being a hero for the sake of being a hero, in that sort of like, I will stand up for the values and the virtues that I believe in, even if it seems like I'm going against the values of a larger organization or entity, in this case, again, the government. There's distrust of the government as, again, maybe it's well-earned. You never can trust a Stark. We know why that is the case for Hank Pym. And Scott, I think, has some of that cynicism. Again, he went through the criminal justice system, right? So these are the two lines that I think are the most important from the first Ant-Man movie. One is kind of hits you in the face important line, and the second one is a little bit more subtle and I think is a little bit more consequential for future films. As always, thank you very much for the feedback and hope to talk to you again soon. Peace.